Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube. I just finished recording the workshop videos for our Be Seen challenge that we're launching at To Be Magnetic, and I got the ping to hit record for the YouTube. It's been a minute. I feel like I start every YouTube like that. Let's cut that. I am actually going to document a little bit of my Be Seen challenge experience on my YouTube. Because one, it's the platform that I feel like the most myself on right now. And also, no, Theo is joining us for a nap in the back. I just have like so many ideas that come through during challenges, and I'm like, oh, I should make a reel about this and I should do that. And it takes me so much time to do it. So I feel like, why don't I just do it? The vlog. Anywho, we are in pre-week. And if you're not familiar with our challenges at To Be Magnetic, twice a year, we go through a challenge as a community. We honestly start planning the challenges like 6 months in advance, and we kind of check in with what's happening with the community, what are the blocks, what's coming up. And it's interesting how it feels like this like intuition soup, coining that one. But this intuition soup where like, okay, I'm recognizing the patterns I'm going through, and then I'm recognizing the patterns the community's going through, which is from like DMs, emails, write-ins, comment sections, talking to process guests, talking to people in our community group, just feeding into the energy there. And then I will also see the patterns playing out with my friends, like people who are not in the community, seeing if it's true outside of just our pocket, and then also the team. And if it hits all those factors, I'm like, okay, there's something here. And the ping that we were getting through was like, it's about visibility. It's about feeling safe to be seen. It's about expressing our inner light. And of course, like the 7 planets in Capricorn human that I am, I went on the mega rabbit hole for months researching visibility from every single angle, and then meeting with Janelle and Lacey and the team and really trying to get clear on like what blocks us from visibility and why do sometimes we feel so ourselves and authentic and confident, and other times we're like, I should just hide in a hole and never be seen again. And like, why do sometimes we have these pings where we want to share on social and like feel so free and like this is on my heart, and other times we're like, I never want to go on social again. And what is happening? Like, what is the push and pull? I felt that so much. I think that's kind of been my journey with social media, personal brand, this like edging. I don't know what other word to say for it, but it's like this feeling of part of me feels authentic expressing here sometimes, and other times I'm like, I could throw it away and go live in the woods. And like, are both parts of me true? Are both aspects of that true? And like, which one is the wounded one? Which one is the one that is a protective mechanism against other wounding? Turns out, no, I shouldn't be posting all the time because that would be like force. I need to just honor the cycles. Anyways, so I went down this rabbit hole of researching all this stuff, and I was like, okay, what's the spiritual lens of being seen, and what does spiritual texts throughout history say about being seen, and what metaphors do we have from nature about being seen? And I would go on my walks and I would like ask the plants and be like, what should we know? What do we need to know about being seen? And, just taking all these notes. The real crux of it is that it is a divine birthright in every single pocket of everything. I think we have, as a society, attributed being seen as like ego, like wanting to be famous, wanting to be, have all these followers, wanting like the superficial level of it. But being seen is actually an innate birthright, and being seen is the way we express our gifts. All of us have gifts and magic and essence and, uniqueness within us that has a purpose to imbue on society, on life, on the plants and animals and all of the things in very different and unique ways. And if we don't allow ourselves to be seen for who we actually are, that light never comes out and never has the impact it does. And then if you look back to the sun as a metaphor, right? Like the sun is always beaming and it's projecting out, and it has this fiery strength. And sometimes it's in its sunrise and sometimes it's midday where it's like so hot, you kind of almost have to shield yourself because there's so so much sun. And then you have the glorious sunset with like all the colors, and it's just so magical, and it resets our circadian rhythm and it helps us sleep. And then it goes down for the day, but it is still beaming the same capacity the whole time. And so I started seeing this through line of like, oh wow, as individual light beings and light bearers, you know, made of the same stuff of the stars, we have that innate light within us that wants to express and wants to come out and wants to just emanate from us, whether we are shining our light, you know, broadly on social media, or whether we're shining our light just to our immediate family, or whether we're shining our light just to ourselves. But that light is shining at all times, and all versions of expressing it in that way are so valuable and needed. And then the other thing with the sun was, think of how much our planet physically needs the sun for every other system to function, for plants to grow, for photosynthesis, for photosynthesis. We need vitamin D in our skin, on our eye, you know, through our retina, through our iris, we do need it in our eyes, basically, optically. To have a healthy functioning body, we need to be witnessed by the sun, right? And so just the sun doing its job, sending out its strong fire beams and emanating, gives this energy frequency to so many things that are like literally that we require that sun to do that in order to even live. Like if the sun went away tomorrow, our planet would go away tomorrow. Okay, and if we are made of the same stuff of that, and we dim our light, and we dim the thing that makes us us, and we dim our passions and our desires and our essence, the way we want to be expressed in the world, what impact could our expression have on other plants, humans, animals, the planet that we can't see, we don't really know, but it does have a positive impact when we let our light shine? So those are the questions I was asking myself the past few months, why I was not posting any of the YouTubes. So anyways, we're in week 1. We had the masterclass today, and it's so crazy because Lacey had this channeling come through Sunday night for her. I'm trying to think if I had it come in Sunday. It was either Sunday or Saturday. I had this it might have been Saturday after the TBM walk. We met with the community. It was so good. It was so good. But then I came back and I was like, I have to journal. And I started journaling all this stuff. And I started asking myself some really big questions. And I think I've always had this assumption in me where I was always supposed to do something big, like on a big scale, like I call it on the world stage. I don't know if I've ever admitted that to myself. I've never actually said I wanted that out loud. But if I'm really being honest with myself, which after doing week 1 of the challenge, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But when I get really honest with myself, I'm like, yeah, I guess there is a part of me that just always assumed I would do something that would impact people on the world stage. That my impact, some people's impact is immediate circles and family. And some people's impact is being a mother or being a parent. And some people's impact is in their garden or, in their local, whatever it is. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I've always felt like it's bigger than that. That feels even scary to say out loud. Always drawn to bigness, culture moving, life changing impact. Co-create together to make something big. It's just, I don't know. Even when I was in film and television, I always oh yeah, I'm going to work on a movie that's going to do this. Or it was just an assumption that got planted at some point. I think it was the drum that was always beating underneath of my movements. And this is the first time I sat down and was whoa, what if that didn't happen? And what if I just had a smaller life? What if the impact wasn't as grand as I thought it was supposed to be, or I just assumed it would be? What would that mean? Would I be okay with that? And I went through this whole exercise with myself. I'm what if it wasn't? And I really cosplayed. Okay, so what would I do day to day, and what would I do here? And it was honestly kind of nice. I was really sitting in that energy, and it felt relieving, because I didn't have to keep chipping away at this bigger thing that's outside of me that I want to dedicate time to. But then there was still that like passion of like, once that is the norm, I don't know, that I have something else to give, like something else to offer. And I basically got to the conclusion that if I just focus on the thing I want to offer and I stop trying to orchestrate the bigness, whatever size it's supposed to be will be, whether that is big or exactly right sized as it is now, or exactly smaller, or exactly more private, or exactly more public. But if I just focus on the thing that most wants like to come through me, that I most want to share, that I most want to like be curious about, like this Be Seen challenge, that it'll kind of all solve itself out. And any parts of me that are gripping to trying to get closer to the bigness can kind of like relax back. And I don't think it's been so, like Lacey talks about this in this channeling energetic, this energy that's coming in where we're refining our life and we're basically seeing what parts of our life we've been moving in a direction, and that direction has been fueled by X, but now it's being fueled by Y. And and the Y is the more authentic, like deserving, unapologetic, just like grounded in our worth, not dog paddling in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know. I say all that because I think a lot of people are kind of questioning different aspects of their life right now and what that means and what they want. And if you're feeling that, A, you're not alone, but B, that's what's coming up for me during pre-week Be Seen challenge. What else? Oh, and we have this fired. Yeah. It's called Feeling Seen and Witnessed. And this is something that I learned from Janelle, our EMDR therapist that we work with to build out the tools. And it was something I also found in my research a lot, which was that seed of a child not feeling good enough for who they are, just point blank, and feeling like they had to either do something or perform a certain way or whatever, comes from a lack of not being witnessed doing nothing. So like, you know how you look at your dog or you look at a plant or you look at something beautiful that's like just existing? Like right now I'm like, oh, well, okay, he left. He got bored of my chat. But I look at my dog and he's just chilling. And I start crying because I can't believe how much I love this little guy and how much I'm like getting sad now thinking about it. Like not even sad. I get so joyful thinking about it that it moves me to tears. And I just love him for exactly who he is. Like even when he's an absolute menace, even when he's like the cuddliest, cutest guy in the world, just like him as him, I just love him so much. I just want to, support him and champion him and steward him and all the things. And I'm just so blessed to even like get to be in his presence and his energy. And if kids are looked at like this, and oftentimes we look at babies like this, but if kids have enough points of reference where they're looked at like this, where they're just like, you're doing nothing, you're not bringing me the ball, you're not like, putting my laundry away or whatever, they basically start clocking in their psyche, oh, I'm so lovable. This person just loves me for me. Like that's so refreshing and nice and cool. Everything else I do from there is a bonus. I just am enough. And literally, if I decide to go in this path in life or that path, or I go down this route or this route, I'm just enough. And so basically this deep imagining helps you go in and witness yourself in that way and give yourself that if you didn't get that imprintation as strongly as you wanted and as a child. It's wild because I'm seeing me, and what I'll do is I'll bring up all these different versions of me. Like I'll bring up me in a different body size. I'll bring up me like one day pregnant. I'll bring up me, really old. I'll bring up me failing at something. I'll bring up me exceeding at something. I'll bring up me just sitting there doing nothing. And I'm just witnessing and loving on all parts of me and just being like, oh, you're so magical. Like every single version, just so magical. The same way I look at Theo. And I think it's probably the first time I've ever really been able to even metabolize sitting with so many imperfect parts of me and giving them so much love. And then the last section of pre-week is checking the environment we most want to be authentic and express in. And mine is personal brand, creative projects, career, my YouTube. More of this. I think there's still a little bit of hesitancy of just owning it and owning the permission to prioritize it, I think is what I'm coming up against. So more to share. And I hope you guys have a great week. If you're feeling called to do this challenge, come join us. Join anytime. Even if it's like 7 months later, it'll still be available because this is a good one. And if you are not getting the thing to join, I'm so sorry that you had to listen to this entire YouTube about this challenge that you're not into, but maybe you learned some things or two or not, but you're here for the vibe. Okay. I feel like I want to give you like a little lifestyle stuff. So here you go. Here's Life Lately highlights.